Right, I'm here with Gooner Lee. Bad day today at the office. We've just seen Arsenal go out the FA Cup at the first stage, third round game, to our long-time rivals. Very disappointing match. Man United down to 10 men. We've had over 26 plus efforts on goal and couldn't get the game across the line. Gooner Lee, tell me your thoughts on this game.
I mean, I predicted a 2-0 loss before the game even started. So, disappointing, but not shocked. I'm actually more shocked that people are shocked that we lost. Honestly, I don't understand. Like, some people need to really get a grip of this team. Like, this is not a good team. And more importantly, this is not a great manager. Like, this manager is, dare I say, like, one of the worst managers that we've had. And I think...
Wow, as bad as that?
Listen, man, ultimately, the money he's spent, and we do this whole pound for pound thing, the money he's spent, the longevity he's had, he's one of the worst managers we've had. Now, you can contextualize it, like he's brought a good feeling back, we finished second, but second doesn't do anything for me ultimately. Like, he's won one FA Cup. I give him a lot of credit for that, because I feel like people take a lot of credit away from him in the sense that it wasn't his team and he came in and he'd worked wonders with that team. But listen, Abba did a lot to help win that trophy. And
let me stop you there, because you're going down a route that I'm not sure is perhaps fair. And I'll tell you why I say that, because if you look at today's game...
It is fair.
Okay, hear me out. Arsenal had, I think it's something like 75% possession overall of the game. As I said to you before, 26 shots on goal. Mm-hmm. Man United down to 10 men. We missed a penalty during time with Odegaard. We missed another penalty at the end where we lost on penalties. Are you telling me that is the fault of the manager?
Well, if you think, I look at the game, up to the 65th minute, before the red card, Arsenal was shocking. We weren't great. We didn't do enough in the game. And that was down to the manager's style of play. Now, yes, I'm going to say Havertz wasn't great today. Havertz had missed some real shockers. Havertz is low on confidence. But overall, these things happen in the game. I look at the way that the team's set up. I look at the confidence of the team. I look at everything. And that's coming from the manager, because he's so defensive. He's so lethargic with his subs. He's so sort of negative when it comes to...
Are you sure it's defensive though? I mean, like I said...
It is.
No, but Gooner Lee,
sorry. And listen,
how do you explain 26 shots on goal to United 7?
On top of all of this...
That's not exactly defensive, is it?
And I'm also going to say, because they were down to 10 men. What else do you expect, Laurie? Come on. And when I look at it, the guy's on £15 million a year. He's the third most expensive manager, with the highest wage in the league. And I look at it and I'm like, hold on a second. He doesn't do anything to earn that money. He hasn't done anything to earn that money, in my opinion. So for me, look, as I said, I'm more worried about Arsenal fans that are shocked about us being out of the FA Cup, because we are not a good team. And as I said, we are led by someone who clearly is inept. And I keep saying it week in and week out. I'm not going to push the guy at the door, but I'll be over the moon if he handed his resignation in today, because he's not good enough. We shouldn't be in a position that we're in right now with the players that we've got. Injuries, whatever excuse, every reason you want to say, I'm sorry. There are ways that you can get around the lack of players that we have. And for me, we should be doing a lot better. Saka or no Saka.
Okay, I am playing a bit of devil's advocate, and I do understand your disappointment, and yes, the manager has also to take accountability. But what I'm trying to say to you is that, okay, let's start at the top. Were you happy with the team selection today?
But I know. Hold on. I know what you're going to go to. You're going to individualize players. Whether we individualize players or not, Laurie, the issue is who brought him in? Who brought those players in that aren't good enough? The manager. So everything rears its ugly head back to the manager. There isn't anybody else to blame. There isn't anybody else. We can keep going on.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you. Okay. I disagree, because, listen, yes, the manager has to take his fair share of the blame.
No, but
the players have to also...
No, they do. I'm not...
Some sitters were being missed out there today, bro.
What you're mistaking here is you're acting like I'm dissolving these players of blame. We already know what they are. But the manager is putting these players into the firing line. The manager has brought these players in and trusted these players when even Stevie Wonder could see that these players were not good enough. Even Stevie Wonder would see to himself, do you know what? That's a real gamble. That's a real risk. And now, when the is hitting the fan, now everybody want to act like, but we already saw this. We already knew this. So whether you want to blame Havertz, whether you want to blame Odegaard, whether you want to blame Trossard, these were stopgap players. Some of these players, these players were not good enough in the first instance, and they were carried and they were punching above our weight, or however you want it. But we always kept coming back to the same thing. We needed more, and the manager should be the equaliser. Okay. You look at Klopp and Pep. Klopp was the equaliser for them winning the trophies that they won. Why? Because he was such a good manager at his pomp. We have a manager, when we go through adversity, he always falters. He always falters. And I'm sorry, we can keep going on at players and individualising players, but the buck's going to stop with the manager, because when we do well, it's Arteta who's the genius, right? And now we're in a situation where we're not doing well, and it's everybody else, not but the manager. So, listen.
No, listen, I hear what you're saying. And like I said, I also have some reservations about the way he coaches the team and some of the tactics, substitutions and one or two other things. We could go on and on. But what I'm saying is, I really do think after today that the players also have to take accountability.
100%.
Because we had by far the most possession. We had by far the most opportunities. Man United were down to 10 men since what, the 61st minute?
Yeah.
So really and truly, manager aside, we should not be losing that game. Yeah, that game shouldn't even have gone to penalties.
It was definitely poor finishing. So yes, I don't want it to seem like I'm not putting a lot of flack on these players today. But we've already seen what these players can do, and they clearly can't do a lot. But all of these players have been brought in by one person. So however you want to talk about and cuss these players out, it comes back to the same guy who's put these players in this position. He's hanging. Some of these players have been hung out to dry. Whatever it is, it's down to one person. So Arteta, of course, didn't ask Havertz to miss 3 open goals today or 2 open goals today. Of course, he didn't ask him to do that. But if no one believed in him in the first instance, why would he be here? He shouldn't be here. So,
and just before people, go, I reference Havertz, but I'm not just talking about Havertz. We missed a penalty in normal time, which would have won us the game pretty much. Yeah. We missed that. We missed chances both before and after the sending off. It's a very disappointing day.
Listen, my main issue isn't actually today's performance. My issue is more with Arsenal fans that are thinking that we had I don't know where people thought we had a chance. I genuinely thought up to the 65th minute we were horrible. We were shocking. Man United came and did their job. We didn't create anything. We didn't carve anything out. I have no idea where Arsenal fans, 2-1s, 2-0s, 1. I'm sorry, if people think I'm calling them out, that is more of a concern for me. Okay. Because honestly, this manager has got people's stardust over there.
All right. Okay, so we've spoken about the manager. I think we've done that to death for this interview. Where do we go from here? Because 2 competitions in a week. We're definitely out of one. We're halfway out of the other. The league, we're not completely out of it yet, but it's not looking great. And then, of course, we've got the Champions League. What would you like to see happen now?
Well, let's not mention the Champions League because we got no pedigree, no history in that. So, league, I think for where we go from here, I genuinely think the manager needs to go. I know we're not mentioning him again if you don't want to, but
is that not a bit knee-jerk though?
No, it's not. I said this from ages. I said this from the 31st. I thought it was an outright disgrace what he did.
So what you're saying, you want the manager gone tonight? Is that what you're saying?
I would like for the manager to be gone. Yes,
but I think realistically that's not going to happen.
Well, you asked me what I want, not what's going to happen. That's fair. So, if you're asking me what I want, I would prefer the manager to go. I think it hasn't got to be a horrible situation where, you're hounding the guy out, but it's still, and I think he's the person that is the main issue here, not the players.
And just finally, another big game coming up on Wednesday against Tottenham. It would appear that Gabriel Jesus is injured. 1 or 2 other people carrying knocks. Is there anyone you want to see come in?
Well, there were signs of Thomas Rosicky being the sporting director, so maybe he can play in midfield.